Act 2 is the adventure of the story. It's where the hero commits to a journey, leaving their normal world behind. It's also where poorly executed stories lose their audience, when they get bored and start checking their phones. Welcome to making my first feature film, Day 9. What does it take to write an engaging Act 2? Consistently rising stakes, intensifying conflict, character relationships must be tested, big plans must fail, and the protagonist must adapt. With the characters pushed to the limit by the end of Act 2, the situation should feel worse than ever. So if Act 1 poses the question, what is the problem? Act 2 should ask, how hard is it to solve? I've been thinking of a way to simplify this further, and here's what I came up with. Consider this the simplest analogy you'll ever come across to define story. So we have our hero and an objective. This is the path that leads to the objective. So we're going to have obstacle, 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 until they hit the target. But here's how we are going to define Act 2. Beginning with a plot point that disrupts the protagonist's normal life. Called the inciting incident. So this is what forces the hero into the story's main conflict. A good example of it would be John Wick 2014, when John Wick's dog is killed by thugs, and it drives him into a revenge quest. From here we move to the B story. So the B story introduces subplot, and this could be romantic, like in The Dark Knight, the relationship between Rachel and Bruce Wayne, or it could be about mentorship, like in Karate Kid, where Mr. Miyagi teaches Daniel. But now moving from here, this is how I picture it. First, here we have something called the fun and games, or the promise of the premise. This is where a lot of movie trailers come from, because there's a lot of adventure, drama, and experimenting. Moving from here, now all the drama and all the failed plans converge. All the drama, all the conflict converge at this major turnaround called the midpoint. A good example of this is like in Titanic, when the ship hits the iceberg. So moving from here, the path is very clear. It comes to a plot point called the all is lost moment. This is the biggest loss that the hero or the protagonist faces. So this is a summary of Act 2, beginning with the inciting incident, the event that disrupts the protagonist's normal world and introduces the central problem. Then we move to the B story, a secondary relationship or emotional thread that deepens and mirrors the main conflict. Next is the fun and games, where the protagonist explores the new world, delivering on the core promise of the premise. Then the midpoint, a major turning point that raises the stakes and shifts the story's direction. And lastly, the all is lost moment. This is the lowest moment where defeat feels inevitable and everything seems to collapse. Finally, remember this match is on sale to fund the development of my website, where I'll be releasing the movie exclusively. And the Kalongolongo Adventure board game is in its final test run. So stay in the loop, the best is still coming, and I'll see you in my next video.